Hey folks, today we are going to take a closer look at the difference between the two non-resident Indian accounts, the NRO account and the NRE account. NRO stands for non-resident ordinary, NRE stands for non-resident external. Once you as an Indian have stayed outside India continuously for more than 180 days, you are considered as a non-resident Indian, or in short, you are known as NRI. So once you become a non-resident Indian, there are certain rules and FEMA regulations kick in. This imposes a certain restrictions on how you work with your funds. By definition, an NRI cannot operate a resident savings account. They have to work with their funds using either NRO or NRE account. From purely operational perspective, NRO account is nothing but a regular savings account but operated by an NRI. So if you had a savings account prior to becoming an NRI, you will want to talk to your bank and convert your resident savings account into an NRO account. This is a very simple process where your account will be redesignated upon giving a requisition letter or something. Once you convert into an NRO account, it's for all practical purposes, it's exactly same as the savings account you used to use. So nothing changes from operational perspective. You can continue to use your existing internet banking IDs and then your banking account number. Everything will still be the same. But there are certain differences. Let's take a closer look at those differences. So what is the difference? So who can open this account? Um, as I was talking about, the NRO accounts are, or for all practical purposes, they are resident Indian accounts, but operated by NRIs. So an NRI alone can open an account or operate an account, or they can have this account jointly with another resident Indian. But NRE accounts are not like that. So to open an NRE account, you can either open it alone in a single holding, or you can jointly open it with another NRI. So what is the purpose of these different accounts, right? It's a simple. NRIs will have two types of financial engagements. One, even after becoming an NRI, you will likely have existing financial relationships within India. Say you may be collecting your rents, or you may be collecting your dividends or pensions, and you may be paying your mortgages, right? So for all these purposes, you need to have an Indian account to manage these things, right? So, so the NRO account exactly exists to help with this purpose. The second type of engagement that an NRI has is that an NRI might want to move their funds, or it could be an earning. They want to move their overseas funds into India, and then at some point in time, they may want to take it back as well. So for this purpose, they need another account. That is what is called NRE account. Next, what kind of deposits that you can make? So as we have just talked about, NRO accounts are Indian accounts. So the deposits will be made in Indian rupees. For NRE accounts, the deposits will be made in a foreign currency. So once you initiate a fund transfer, before the foreign currency is credited into your NRE account, that will be converted as an Indian rupees. Then after that point in time, it stays in Indian rupees. So that's why whenever you want to withdraw funds from NRO or NRE, it will always be going to be in Indian rupees. So how do you transfer funds between NRE and NRO accounts? Um, since NRO accounts are Indian accounts, you cannot transfer fund from an NRO account to NRE freely. But there are some exceptions available. We will see that in a bit. For NRE account, you can free transfer funds from your NRE account to other NRE account or NRO accounts. From taxation perspective, for all the returns that you generate, like interest or anything that you are generating out of your NRO account, tax is deducted at source at 30% by default, unless you have a DTAA form submitted to your bank. This DTAA is subject to the country where you are living in. The country where you are living in, India, and that country should have executed this DTAA, and you should be allowed to do so. Otherwise, TDS will be deducted by default at 30% rate. On NRE accounts, any interest that you generate out of your NRE savings account or deposit account, it's tax-free within India, but you may have to pay tax depending upon the country where you are living in. So you may have to look at the tax rules of the country where you are living. When it comes to repatriation, we briefly touched upon during fund transfers. The income is freely repatriable. When I say income, it could be the interest income that you generate out of your NRO account, or it could be dividends that are getting deposited, or um, or this could be a pension or some other income that you generate within India. So to repatriate these amounts to either to your NRE or to your overseas bank, you will have to fill up a form, repatriation form. This is a straightforward process. It takes about a couple of days. You go to your bank, or some of the banks you can do it online itself. You fill in a form, and you just submit it and then initiate a fund transfer, and you will just say, I'm going to repatriate this amount. But the restrictions here are that you cannot repatriate more than 1 million US dollars a year from your NRO account. That is one restriction. And the second is any fund transfer that you're initiating, anytime you are trying to repatriate, you will have to get your account audited. For that, you may have to employ an auditor to look at your account to make sure you are from taxation perspective, you are clear on Indian tax perspective. So this is a little bit of headache, but it is straightforward. On the NRE accounts, when you want to repatriate, you can fully repatriate your principal amount or interest amount, anything that you can repatriate from your NRE account. In terms of service charges, the service charge depends on the bank you are banking with. There can be a little bit plus or minus here and there, but pretty much all these banks are competitive. So there you have it. If you like this video, please like and share this video and like my channel. Thank you.